You mentioned that contract extension, and that's a hot topic nationally as well. And it's always in conjunction with Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Baker Mayfield from that 2018 class. Here's what Gregg Rosenthal had to say about Baker Mayfield and Lamar Jackson's contract extensions on the Rich Eisen Show.
We're still waiting to see fifth-year options turn into monster contracts for Lamar and Baker. Why haven't we seen them yet? Do we get them right before the season? What do you think, Greg?
Yeah, this is the time of year. I think it's going to happen with Lamar Jackson just because of the way that he spoke about it. He sounded so confident, and I would anticipate it's probably going to happen with Baker Mayfield. When the players aren't stressing publicly and the agents aren't stressing at all, I don't think the fans should, because I think both players would be agitating if they weren't expecting to sign. Lamar, I think will happen before camp. Whether Baker happens before camp or midway through, it sounds like it's happening. I thought it might be an interesting strategy after watching Jared Goff and Carson Wentz get those two contracts early and then regret it, to just make Baker play another 6-7 games with Kevin Stefanski. But it doesn't sound like the Browns are that interested in doing that.
And John, that doesn't surprise me. That's not the way this front office operates.
No, it's not the way that this front office operates, Dave. And I think that I expect something to get done here at a certain point. Now, look, for Baker Mayfield, the money aspect is an interesting one because his career thus far has been a mixed bag. But when you look at the touchdown numbers and when you look at his efficiency overall in the red zone, when you stack him up against some of the other young quarterbacks, the quarterbacks that were in his draft class, that's where I think that the meeting at the table for the exact dollar amount is going to be interesting. But I really do expect that Andrew Berry and that the Cleveland Browns front office are going to do what it takes to make something happen here, whether it is before, whether it is during training camp. I expect something to get done here. And I think that it'll be interesting, most of all, to see exactly what happens financially with this deal. There's a lot of different things to consider, but the Cleveland Browns should believe that Baker Mayfield is their quarterback going forward. He is their quarterback for the next 10 years. And I do think that he's shown us enough, and he's shown this organization enough to earn that right. And you have to treat it as such. Not every contract extension that gets done means that you have seen the best from your quarterback. You're signing an extension hoping, also knowing that the work ethic is in place, that the intangibles are in place, and that there are pieces that make you believe in the upside. And I still think that Baker Mayfield can get better. And I think he's willing to get better and willing to build on where he's been. And you have to ask yourself, do you believe that Baker Mayfield can be a guy who can lead you to an AFC championship and a Super Bowl? And I do believe that the Cleveland Browns believe in that. To what degree, we'll see what the finances are of the situation. But Baker Mayfield fits right there with a Lamar Jackson. And I fully expect that this front office, the way that they operate, they're going to get something done. They absolutely should, and they have to. The quarterback is the foundation position in this league. Baker Mayfield has earned an extension.
Yeah, and you know what? The price of a franchise quarterback, it's only going up. If a quarterback is a stock, you invest in it, because as the salary cap goes up, so does that number.
It does. I mean, that number is only rising, and people have to understand that it's going to come at a price, but that Baker Mayfield showed us last season his ability to manage the Cleveland Browns to wins. I do not care how you draw it up. Nobody looks at back to week 7 or week 9 at how you won the game. They want to see, did you win or did you lose? In this league, the margin for error is slim. And last season, with a competent head coach, a competent staff, under some very strange circumstances with the COVID-19 season, Baker Mayfield took the next steps. Those next steps now need to get rewarded. And the price of a franchise quarterback, as you said, is rising. And finding that franchise quarterback can be very complicated. It's why we are seeing quarterbacks get taken with those top picks in the draft, and some quarterbacks that maybe 10 years ago, there are certain guys that might have been taken at the end of the first round or earlier in the second round that are now getting taken in the top 5 or top 10. Because if you don't have it right at that position, then you're not going to do a whole lot of anything when the postseason rolls around. You don't have to have the perfect quarterback. You have to have the right quarterback. And it is clear to me that Baker Mayfield and Kevin Stefanski have something that can be sustainable. And the Browns should capitalize on that, and they should make the move for an extension and give that vote of confidence. You don't have to do something crazy. And I know we're going to get into the money here and what exactly that money should be. And I have some thoughts on that. But is it time for the extension? Yes, it is. You should believe in Baker Mayfield. He got you a postseason win. For this franchise, that has been nearly impossible to come by or nearly impossible to even think about. And this quarterback got you there and had you in a position in Kansas City. He needs to get rewarded with a deal.